Burkina Faso passed a law a little while ago criminalizing homosexuality. I love Traore. I support his mission to reclaim Africa's resources, but it made me think, niggas not gonna stop being gay because it's illegal. Be real, the anti-gay shit is some colonial shit. People try to act like that's an inherently African point of view. Take Ghana, for example. Ghana has had a major anti-LGBTQ push over the last few years. I remember before Virgil passed, there was a group of us all pushing to support the rights of queer people in Ghana. Yo, I lost like 1,000 followers overnight for posting a design Virgil made. It said Ghanaians for equality or some shit with a rainbow. The rainbow is what sent it over the edge. They getting that, Charlie, you know they tell us how to live our life. They try to control us. Oh, you mean kind of like how you try to control gay people? But they try to impose upon our freedoms. So you mad at me for imposing on your freedom to impose on...
استغفر الله العظيم. السلام عليكم. وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري وأحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum. This is my analysis about Africa and as far as the LGBT issues are concerned. So, where do I begin? Okay, as a spokesperson for Stonewall Democrats in Las Vegas, Nevada, back in 2014 all the way to 2015, that 1 year I held that position, I've learned plenty how the power structure works in the LGBT community. So LGBT or gay, lesbian, trans, bisexual, etc. Now and today they add so many other abbreviations. But my point here is it's about money, it's about power, it's about domination. And it's not always about the gay issues or who is for the gays, homosexuality or, the gay liberation and who's against it. But it's more like who is controlling those resources and who benefits from these resources. So, for instance, when I held the position of the Stonewall Democrat, my mentor this is shout out to Derek Washington. I love him. I miss him. He's great. He was an African American. He's a superhero for the gay community in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is shout out to him. This is your sister. I miss you, Derek. I miss you, and I have changed since. I have embraced Islam and I repented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I'm not the same person because I've seen abuse, I've seen all kind of things, and as you remember, I always been genuine to who I am, always, from the day one. And Derek loved me so dearly because he knew who I was. But anyway, African and the gay issue. So let me tell you about the gays in Africa. Gays exist in Africa way before the colonization. Gays were everywhere in the world. It's a lie that anyone that says white men brought gay and homosexuality through colonization. Nobody will bring homosexuality. Nobody will change your desire who to sleep with, astaghfirullah al-azim, through colonizing you. Nobody. Nobody has that power over you. Nobody has that mental power over you. Okay, so let me clarify this, and I know it's going to hit very close to home because a lot of Somalis are extremely anti-queer, a lot of Muslim and a lot of African, and rightfully so. I know because our religion says clearly there is no marriage between other than man and a woman, and that's what I believe today as somebody who actually embraced Islam. But I also know being a queer is not a choice. It's not something that you wake up and you say, I'm attracted to the same sex, or I am attracted to this person because such and such is such. First of all, I'm not a sexual person, okay? I've never been into these type of things, but I always knew I was different. I accepted people as who they are. And let me get into the topic of Africans. Africans are run by their emotions most of the time. And also, Africans are controlled through the churches because we are extremely spiritual beings, and through the mosques and our religion, which rightfully so. Uh, but there are some double, double standards and hypocrisy when it comes to the gay issue because in Africa, for instance, if you do not talk about these issues publicly, you could live your life extremely free. Nobody will bother you. But as soon as they brought this issue to us, now they exposing and they endangering Africans, queer communities. And this is what Obama did, unfortunately. As soon as he started talking about the LGBT rights in Africa, that's when they actually started targeting African queers the most. And evangelicals began their crusade. I call it anti-queer crusade movement. So they funded so much money. By the way, Derek also was the one who actually was very much so, made this extremely clear to me to realize how this power structure works. So thank you, Derek. But anyway, the evangelicals were funding criminal actions to be taken against queer communities in Africa, especially in Uganda, places like Uganda and Western African regions. So people were being burned alive, people were being killed, and people were sentencing life sentences during the court. Throughout court system, legally, people were being massacred in masses and in publicly, out in publicly. So Africans were instigated and were actually being encouraged to attack queer communities in public. And this, the public opinion about homosexuality or queer in general, I've learned throughout my political career can be shifted dramatically, like it just happened in the US. However, today, as someone who actually practices Islam, I don't want to be any part of this, to be involved in this. But I can tell you one thing: things are not as they appear. Many of the leaders are also involved in homosexual relationship, including Africans. Many of these same people who propagate hate towards the queer people are sometimes down lows. I've learned throughout my experiences, the real men who are extremely confident about their sexuality and who they are the most accepting people I know. The real men who are comfortable who they are. But anyone who actually gets extremely excited and emotional and violent in some cases about homosexuality or the queer community, attack towards the queer community in Africa, are the ones who are down lows. And this is the case in America. This is the case in Black America specifically, because Black Americans are the most loving and accepting people of blacks globally. I know personally, okay? But when it comes to these issues, you don't talk about it because church is, at the end of the day, is the one that decides who you love and who you hate and who you go against. And simultaneously, they go what their clerk says to them. So in many cases, these clerks are actually in relationship or practicing some sort of down low, astaghfirullah al-azim, sexual acts. So here is my take. And also, Black people pay more respect and they would listen to a white
Burkina Faso passed a
gay
law a
or
little
queer
while ago
individual
criminalizing
when it
homosexuality.
comes to
I love
politics
Traore. I
and
support his mission to
policies in
reclaim
general,
Africa's resources, but it made me think
they're
niggas
old.
not gonna stop being
Because
gay because it's
when
illegal.
the white, because
Be
this
real, the
has
anti-gay shit is
attachment
some
to the
colonial
slavery
shit. People
and the
try to act like that's an
colonization, when
inherently
the
African
white
point of view. Take Ghana for
queer
example.
individual
Ghana has had a major
comes to Africa,
anti-LGBTQ
can
push
live
over the last
freely
few
as a
years.
queer,
I remember
openly
before
queer,
Virgil passed, there was a
and
group
would
of us
never
out pushing to
be
support the rights of queer people in
experienced
Ghana.
the same
Yo, I
way
lost like
as an
1,000
African
followers
queer
overnight
individual.
for posting a design
But that's,
Virgil
I know
made.
that
It said
sounds like
Ghanaians for
out of the
equality
topic,
or
but
some
it's
shit.
not,
With a
because
rainbow.
this
The
whole
rainbow is what sent it
queer
over the
agenda,
edge.
it's
They getting
distraction,
that.
because the
Charlie,
elites,
you know
this
they
is
tell us
how
how
the
to live
world
our
works,
life.
how the
They
world
try to
works.
control us.
The elites needs
Oh, you mean kind of like
agendas
how you
that are
try to
extremely
control gay people?
emotionally
But you
triggering
they try to
to
impose upon
people.
our freedoms.
And let me
So you
clarify.
mad at me for imposing
Recently,
on
the
your
recent
freedom
years,
to
they were
impose on
they introduced gender studies and teaching your children about homosexuality and transgender and all kind of gender studies when these children are not even developed sexually. Okay, so and trust me, who gets the lashback? The marginalized, black, queer, trans, and people who have no power and they have no influence and they did never involved in these policies. But black people take their anger on these people, okay? And they target them. So it's extremely important to be authentic and absolutely 100% truthful about these situation, because there's a life and death for some people. Let me repeat this. Queer people have nothing to do with your children being taught in school about gender studies. So do not take your anger on queer people, especially black queers, okay? Number two, I am against any children to be taught any gender issues or any sexuality whatsoever. I believe that has to be sacred, extremely relationship between the parents, especially the mother and the child, or the father and the child, when the puberty age is hit, because the child will be already confused about the feelings. We all went through the puberty times. It's the most difficult time for a human being. So why are you making so difficult for something that is already difficult? Because you want to destroy people. You are eugenics. You are part of the population. You are part of the population control. The queer people, they do not reproduce. So you support that, but also you want to target them and torture them and exploit them, especially if they are black, if they are gifted, or if they have immune system that is so unusual, like myself. You want to microchip them, turn them into some sort of guinea pig, and turn entire community against them, to stigmatize them, okay? And radiate them with military stealth weapon to their nervous system, to sexually activate them, then tell everyone that is perverted human being that needs to be watched and controlled, and demonize them. Okay, so it is extremely sensitive topic, because who always pays the price? The black trans, or the black queer, or the black gay person that pays the price. And some black people love to see black queers to suffer for some. Unfortunately for them, what they don't understand, some of us come with gifts. Some of us come with spiritual gift, talents, intelligence. We can contribute to the larger community far more than most other people, because we see things in different perspective. Especially those who were rejected and overcome atrocities that done to them. So let me repeat myself. I am not for normalizing gender studies for children, but I am for protecting queer people, no matter what skin color they are, especially if they are marginalized queer folk. in Africa, what they are doing now is destruction because they need your minerals, they need your resources. Please protect African queer people and leave them alone, please. Human rights campaign are evil. Thank you, Derek Washington. I have learned, he did not say they are evil, but he actually taught me a lot of things, how the power structure works. So human rights campaign, those who are not aware of who they are mainly white, wealthy, powerful, gay men control establishment. Nonprofit. They are the ones who were involved in the fight to make possible for gay people to so they can marry, gay marriage during the Obama administration. But they are also Zionists. They are extremely racist people. I work with them. I work very close with them, and I know some of very powerful among these men. In the US, especially in California and in Vegas. They are the one behind the gender studies being taught children in schools. Human Rights Campaign, it's part of the Zionist eugenics program. It's part of the deep state. It's part of the CIA. Everyday gay people or queer or trans people in Black communities or in African communities are being targeted and tortured and demonized and stigmatized for these powerful white gay power structure policies. And they couldn't care less because they actually don't like them, okay? They don't like them. And they probably are happy because who created Palantir technology? It's a gay, white, South African, German, Jewish man. Okay, so I have no beef with them, but they clearly are anti-humanity agents. So that's all I have to say.